I'm about to get in your head. The human body isn't just a biological structure. It is a signal processor. It is tech, a literal living antenna array. And at the back of the skull, just under the occipital ridge, lies one of the most overlooked access points to the entire signal grid, the basal ganglia. Now, most know the ganglia as a center for movement, habit, and your motor control, but that is surface level explanation. What the ganglia actually is a behavioral gatekeeper. It is what chooses which patterns gets passed through, which ones get stored, and which ones are repeated until they run you. But that's not all. The ganglia also sits in a position of immense neuromagnetic influence. So it doesn't just process movement, it acts just like a router does. It's translating internal state shifts into physical, chemical, and electromagnetic outputs. And this is where Orion comes in, because Orion isn't just a constellation. It's not just different forms of consciousness beings either. It's a template, a celestial mirror mapped across cultures, Egyptian, Mayan, Sumerian, and not because it looked pretty in the sky, but because it matched something inside. It all does. Orion overlays perfectly with the limbic signal architecture of the brain and the spinal line. 3 stars across the belt, 3 signal switches across the ganglia. Coincidence? No, it's convergence. The Orion field, when tracked energetically, pulses with a magnetic signature that mirrors the loop rhythm of behavioral conditioning. Why? Because Orion governs the cycles of initiation, death, rebirth, pattern, break, pattern, break. The same function the ganglia performs in your system. So when you engage with Orion consciously, you're not worshiping stars. You're repatterning your internal habit signature by syncing it to a rhythm that is older than language itself. And it can be accessed at the back of the skull, whether through breath, pressure, hum, resonance, or targeted meditation. Now, when you stimulate the ganglia entry point, you unlock the command line of your loop behavior. And when you pair that with conscious magnetic awareness, which I will be talking more about in the next ciphers coming with the ganglia, then you begin to rewrite the pattern selection from the root. The child can feel it in the hum, the scientist can track it in the neural oscillation, and the seeker can trace it in the stars. And the executive, well, they can use it to break performance plateaus at the pattern level, because that's where you have to break them at. And you can do all that without ever needing belief. This is what we do at Archetype 13 and Note 13. We simply hand you back the operating system. It's not about hacking it. We give it back to you. Ganglia, Orion, one internal, one external, same mirror, and we are just getting started.